कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयवृन्दे भवं भवानी सन्तं नमामि। कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयवृन्दे भवं भवानी सन्तं नमामि। कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयवृन्दे भवं भवानी सन्तं नमामि।
I am here in the middle of nowhere. There is no there, it is cold there, but I am safe and I am warm. Although it's hard, I know I gotta keep up. No time to lay to drift away. I find my space, I spend my time down the rabbit hole again, and as I fall I can feel the pain. You can't tell me where to go, so I don't know, I just go with the flow. I go with the flow. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. I'm out of love, but I guess I deserved it. Trying to hide, to pass you by. I'm getting down, feeling fine. I'm light as air, no one can reach me. Lost in a dream, lost in between. Let's keep on flying, let's keep on breathing. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo.
Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Hello everybody and welcome to the AOR NA PC Round 7 here in Canada. I am joined with NinjaRider. Ninja, how are you feeling?
Doing all right, man. This one should be a good race. I particularly like this track. It's one of my favorites, trying to learn how to drive a P2 car way back in the day. And honestly, should be a fantastic race all around.
Yes, it is just like all the other races today. It is looking to be a thriller from Oceania to F1 back into the Americas League. This track's home since it's all the Americas continent.
As we just about to get qualifying underway, we should note the Wall of Champions, everybody's hit it. Everyone has hit it. I've hit it. I'm sure you've hit it. Everybody
many times
ever played on this track in any sort of sim or mod has definitely hit it. Now,
and if you say you haven't hit it, you're lying.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? This track, though, storied in history. Tons of first wins. Just one of those tracks that elicits great racing and forces drivers into some kind of complicated situations with the way it's sort of laid out, even though it is so simple. As we look at the tires available for today here pretty quick, the track records. Dano Beresne, sorry, 110.016, and Tino taking in the total time record for the track. We're having a little bit of internet issues here.
Nothing that we can handle. But yeah, currently on track, we do have our championship leader, Some Idiot. He is back with us this week, as well as ACR Raven. He will be back today, but he is back and ready for a show here in Canada at the circuit Jules Villenueve. We don't have a we're going to do an onboard lap, are we?
No, we don't have a hot lap, unfortunately. We'll do an onboard here in one of the qualifying, or in this qualifying session, as the session kind of gets underway. Everybody kind of getting some sight laps going in.
Yeah, sight laps. Some people going for those early laps as well, just getting good clean air. Triton takes the current time, and Some Idiot also takes a provisional pole so far of a 109.412. You're going to see guys doing some sliders on the Hypersoft tires, but don't expect those to be their solid laps. Expect to see most people on the Ultrasoft tires to have more tire life for when they start.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Ultrasofts might be the way to go. I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of supers. This track can eat tires alive if you kind of start to miss braking points and things. You're starting to really get racy. It's really going to come down to a driving style, I think, and being very smooth here really credits the tire life and honestly just the track in general. It's just one of those drivers tracks that requires the best from the driver, and really nailing those lines properly will net you great results. And if you get caught in traffic, you can kind of use it to your advantage to a point. but you do still have to be very careful as the track does get fairly narrow with very little runoff.
Yes, it is getting a bit narrow in some spots. Some particularly high-risk spots for penalties-wise would be around turns 3 and 4. There's an inside curb that if you run over that, your car will invalidate itself or give yourself a little invalidated lap and a cut corner penalty. Also, 13-14, infamous wall of champions, run all those curves. Your lap time will be invalidated. And if you run on top of one of those curves, you might be thrown to a wall. So that is a very interesting sector of track.
One of my favorites, actually. You have to be fully committed in order to absolutely get it right, get the proper speed through there, and you got to try to conserve as much speed as possible through that particular section of track, especially with the pit entrance right there. It can get a little bit tough. As we take a look at ACR Raven, you do have to completely nail it. You go offline just a little bit, you'll either lose a lot of time or you end up in a wall. It's one or the other.
Yeah, lose a lot of time, end up in a wall, do a little bit of lawn trimming, or collide with another car. As the very high intense sector is sector 2, the sector that Raven is in right now, with all of its quick right-left turns and that third DRS zone that is new for F1 2018. But this hairpin, Le Epingo, or I'm just going to call it the turn 10 hairpin, it's been a scene to many classic dive bombs, lockups, and just overall straight battling. And then the thing that gives Circuit Jules Villeneuve its little oomph is the Casino Straight. This long straight that Raven is on right now. You should see the slipstream effect coming into play a lot. And all these cars should be very close together down that front straight. So close racing is ahead.
I have to completely agree with you. And car setup really does come into play here. Obviously, with all these switchbacks, you have to be able to change direction as quickly as possible without losing either the front or the rear end. We've actually seen that a few times throughout the various AOR leagues, where the front end will actually wash out and they're not able to make the switch over to whichever turn is next. You have to really nail the flow down of just that particular section of track. Once you get through it, if you do make a mistake, you can kind of recover as long as you don't hit a wall. But that right there is the problem. The walls are very, very close here. I think I mentioned it already, where you do need to be sure that you take the proper line, even when you're side by side with someone, that you don't end up in a wall and you don't put someone else in the walls. We don't tolerate that much here. You will receive flack from us commentators, as well as, well, the general AOR community, if I'm honest.
You might be put out somewhere. I'm not going to mention any incidents, but he's very embarrassed after what happened a few rounds ago. As ACR Raven sits on top of pole on 4-lap old super soft tires with a 108.592. That's 0.7 seconds ahead of his Ferrari teammate of Spider. So Raven just putting an absolute blister of a time, but there's plenty more left in the tank, and he's just doing some practice laps because he's going to have to he's going to have to start on those 4-lap old tires.
I'm making sound adjustments as we go here. Unfortunately, I didn't quite have my hotkeys prepared. Good job. What I get for trying to talk and stream at the same time.
We're all good here. As ACR Raven jumping into the pits, Fluffy Dave takes P2. And that Toro Rosso, 0.214 seconds behind a Raven on those hyper soft tires. So yep. Fluffy Dave, a mid-season joiner, started out as a reserve driver, but now as a full-time racer here at AOR. He's been very consistently at the top and just an overall great guy to talk to, honestly. As are most of our drivers here today.
Most of them.
Most of them.
Some of them are kind of, you know, they're okay.
Yeah, we do have there is an idiot around us.
Literally, some
yes.
idiot is driving.
Yeah, it's just stay away from that some idiot guy, especially after the race.
That's how you know when we like you. As Fluffy Dave goes into the pits, Spider on an outlap at this point, looking to improve. Speaking of some idiot, sitting 4th place at this point with a minute 9.412. Heineken, I don't remember him being towards the top of the charts, but he's looking pretty good in 5th at the moment.
Oh. I'm sorry if I interrupted you, but we already have 3 DNFs. Both the Force Indias have terminal damage, as well as Sharkbank 98. I guess they were just pushing a bit too hard and ran into the wall. I don't know where they hit the wall at, because I don't see any bits of carbon fiber. Probably the infamous Wall of Champions.
Yeah, one did.
As Zwamp has retired now.
We did see a little bit of carbon fiber laying around the Wall of Champions already. On one of the onboards or somewhere along the line. That was a little bit earlier. Bit unfortunate, but yeah, they won't be able to put down another lap time here, and somebody else has crashed.
Is that Lundqvist? No, that's Swamp. That's the Mercedes.
Yeah, that's a Mercedes. That would be Z-Womp. Yeah, speaking of Lundqvist.
Yeah, he didn't show up on that other camera. It's just on that back shot. I saw his car there.
Yeah, that was very odd. Speaking of Lundqvist, sitting 14th right now, he's not showing the pace at the moment, but he can be up into the mid-pack, hovering right around 6th or 7th place. So we'll be looking for him to jump up the order here very soon. 15 drivers today. I was expecting a lot more.
15 drivers is a respectable amount, as Lundqvist is drifting his car around turn 10, thankfully keeping it between the lines as he flies down Casino Straight on these Hypersoft tires. He's looking like he's setting up for his flyer right now, since he's on those fresh Hypersofts.
No. He
actually, no, he's just going to the pits.
He locked up hard going into turn 10. There's just no way. Speaking of certain gentlemen, intergalactic gentlemen, thank you for that onboard shot of the tire game. What? There we go. Right, coming out of turn 10. He's on his out lap, so we'll be expecting a faster lap than this, I think. We'll have to see if he decides to go ahead and validate this lap or dive into the pits. Yep, he's going for it.
Speaking of faster laps, I'm on board with ACR Raven. He's switched onto the ultra soft tires, and he is gunning for it, trying to beat his 108.592.
Let's go on board.
Yeah, let's go on board with ACR Raven in the Scuderia Ferrari. Raven keeping it very nice and clean outside of turn 9. Almost got a little date with the grass, and he's hard on the brakes. A little bit of small lockup on that front right tire. Coming around turn 10. Small back end coming out as some idiot takes a new fast lap of 108.474 by 0.118 seconds. And down Casino Straight comes ACR Raven into the Wall of Champions.
Perfect.
Just no mistakes right there. And that's the new professional pole of 108.195 for ACR Raven.
As he makes his way through the sort of baseball field section, the turn 1, 2, 3 complex, and through the first of what I kind of like to call them the Canadian chicanes.
They do. It does have a nice ring to it. I'm going to probably steal that from you now. But yeah, I'll probably call them the Canadian chicanes, even though 3 and 4 is more of a chicane. 5 is just more of a bend with walls. 6 and 7 is more of a swinger type of turn. Said 6 is actually a beyond 90-degree turn, as people are starting to retire more. I don't know if that was due to a crash or he's just done with his laps and didn't want to throw out his tires as Raven's slowing down and
slow down here on out.
He's letting his teammate by.
Yeah.
Spider is on his flying lap. He should be on. Yes, he is. So let's watch the Ferrari of Spider.
Respectable fourth place.
Yeah, good fourth place. 0.7 seconds behind of Raven right now, sitting in that 108. That sweet spot 108 time.
We are sort of expecting 107s, but I don't know if we're going to actually see that now that the track is starting to get a little bit more cloudy. Good work in their favor, though, as the grip may come up. It depends on if the track decides to get a little bit moist. We'll see.
Yeah, the overcast weather up here in Canada is making itself known as I see a little bit of sheen popping up on the track. I don't know if that's going to affect anyone's grip, but we might see a very late run on the Hypersofts from one of the front runners to jump down to the 107s, but oh, some idiot almost breaks into the 107s at a 108.080.
Looks like he's gonna call it from here.
Yeah, 3-lap old ultra soft tires for some idiot as Raven and Spider both go into the pits on their ultra soft. So none of the front runners going in on the Hypersofts today. The first Hypersoft runner I see is Mikey, and everyone else, Mikey, Zwamp, Intergalactic Gentleman, Pranky, Lundquist, and Jay, all of them have Hypersofts enabled, but Mikey is very interesting because he's on that 10th place. So he will, if he doesn't improve his time on a different compound, but with 132, he will be starting on that tire.
A lot of people retiring from the session. We do see that here in America. Kind of resetting the car, if you will, as Mikey's going to actually slow down for this. He's got a yellow flag.
Yeah, I believe Mikey is just not wanting to set that fast a lap. He probably set it on an ultra soft tires. He's just currently on the Hypersofts and doesn't want to be on the fast wearing Hypersoft tires, as some might say. Now, I was watching a few other races around the F1 esports community today and this weekend, and I've noticed a few trends. There's a bit of chaos through 3 and 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yep, that's pretty much the chaos spots. Yeah, turn 1, 2 is usually.
There's actually rain falling right now.
Oh, wow! I haven't seen that yet. We're still watching D3 Mikey kind of come through. Turn 10 right now. This track is kind of odd because usually it's turn 1 is where the craziness happens. There's that little bit of rain down the casino straight, but 3 and 4 are the crazy ones because the track does narrow down quite a bit as everybody is pretty much in the pits at this point. No one out there is.
Yeah, so many ran out of fuel actually. There he goes. He's just retired for this. But yeah, 3 and 4. Not only does it narrow and it's a sharp right left, it also drops off. So there's an inside curve. You hit that, your car may get a bit airborne. So expect everyone to take it safe throughout there. But turn 6 and 7 is where you might see some of the winners of the late breakers come to handing. And as we're finished up and qualified, you want to do the honors.
Yeah, some idiot Raven coming in 2nd place, Fluffy Dave in 3rd with the Hypersofts, Spider with the 4th, Triton grabbing a 5th, not bad for him, Heineken with a 6th, also not bad for him, Sharkbait a little bit lower down the ranks than we normally see him on the Hypersofts as well. Manku, that's a new one here in F1 America, grabbing an 8th, not bad. Jonathan with a 9, Mikey grabbing the 10th, using the Ultra Softs, not the Hypers. So that's your prediction on that one was spot on. A good call there, Austin.
Thank you. I pride myself on that, as all the cars are spawning in right now. Some of them might be spawning on top of each other. Oh, they just fixed each other out. That's always fun to see when you can see the cars spawning in, but We're waiting for everyone to load on in as we go on this formation lap. You want to do a friendly bet? I think there might be a safety car on lap 1.
I mean, I think there's going to be at least one safety car. Not exactly sure when it will happen, but lap 1. You know what? I'll take that bet and say it won't be lap 1.
All right.
Friendly handshake wager.
Friendly handshake. Tip of the hat. As we go on to our formation lap, everyone's getting those tires all warmed up and ready to go. As they have a little bit of cider. Now, the track is still overcasty.
Yeah.
I didn't get any messages from anyone saying, hey, there might be any rain. As I have a few contacts in the race right now who would do a friendly saying, hey, weather update. But this turn right here is somebody that's coming through. You might see a little last of the late breakers coming in and try to do a little dive up the inside. And you're going to see a lot of overtakes right there, or attempts to overtake. Because it does switch back on you. It's a tight left-hander, then a long right-hander. Yeah. So car control is key right there.
There really isn't kind of a bad line as we're seeing a little bit of server desync. My goodness.
Some idiot.
Warping all over the place.
Okay, I thought I wasn't the one there.
No. That was caught. That was very odd. We don't usually see that from some idiot. But I mean, I've been having a little bit of internet issues connecting to the server too. So maybe there's something going on with whoever is hosting. Thank you, Intergalactic Gentleman, for the host, of course. It's usually very, very stable. Don't know exactly what's going on here, but
was there a car in the pit lane?
Didn't see one.
I don't think there's a car in the pit lane right now, so that doesn't mean. But I know what he's talking about.
Is there a bug?
I know what he's. In a different league that I commentate for, I'm not going to say the name since we're on a different channel and I don't want to get into any details. A car started from the pit lane and it was just completely desynced from the server. So
weird.
Yeah.
Oh, there's someone.
Oh, there is someone in the pit lane?
No, he's stuck on turn 1. 5 red lights go out though. Somebody taking the start here, going into the chaos that will be the first few corners, and it looks like we might have a wet lap.
Oh, look in the back of the midfield. Cars coming together all the time. Z-Wop and... No, that's not your
Lundqvist, bro, I think.
No, I was selected on Lundqvist, bro, as all these cars are coming together. Into turn 6, they go side by side. It's Heineken and Sharkbait. Heineken slamming into the side of the Alfa Romeo as he makes it turn, as everyone's just shuffling for positions right now. It's yellow flag in sector 2. It's absolute chaos as J-Boy has retired for the session. And we got a virtual safety car.
Already. Good call.
Yeah, all the cars are bunching up right now as they're trying to clear that car from the track right now, and I guess I won that.
Oh, someone just rammed it. Oh, we got an Alfa Romeo on its roof nearly. Cuts into someone else during a safety car. Didn't quite see who that was. Let's see if we can find it.
Is that Sharkbait?
That might have been.
Because he's in the Alfa Romeo, and...
Sharkbait, yeah, it was definitely Sharkbait. He just got rammed from behind. I didn't exactly see who that was.
It was Macu.
Under virtual safety car.
Well, the safety car is lifted, and we are back to green flag racing here in Canada.
Intergalactic Gentleman jumps into the pits after taking a bin from that. Let's move up to the leaders.
Yeah, some idiot leaving ACR Raven and Fluffy Dave through turn 6 and 7, as there might be a tad bit of desync happening right in the midfield, so that's what you've been seeing. But the 3 leaders of some idiot Raven and Fluffy Dave are just running away from the field right now, as everyone's just staying in the same position with that early VSC safety car, as Mikey has jumped up 1 position Lundquist, bro, has jumped up 2, and Intergalactic Gentleman has fallen 2, but he did go into the pits. And sadly for J-Boy, he's retired from the race. So Sharkbait is a bit not there.
A bit.
As I have information from Feller, who is another AOR racer.
We have a racer for 5th place. It looks like Triton and Spider starting to go at it.
Let's go on board with that. Spider on the rear end of Triton. Heineken trying to join this battle, but look at Spider diving up the inside. Thinks twice about it. Says, nah, I like my front wing, so he keeps that spot. Oh, look at Heineken in the wall. Heineken hard in the wall, loses a lot of his front wing. He's going to keep on going on, so he's still in for the fight. And he's going to try to finish this race right now, but first he's got to limp back to the pits and repair that front wing.
That's going to be suspension damage too. The way he slapped the wall like that was absolute brutality. Yeah, he's locking up hard. Definitely wasn't doing that before. He's definitely going to have some damage to try to repair. He's going to be losing a lot of positions, and like you said, just finish the race if you can.
Yeah. Speaking of finishing the race for the lead is going on right now. As ACR Raven sets the new fast lap of 1:11.618 as he's following some idiot extremely close through the Senna start, down 3 and 4. I'm on board with Raven right now, following the draft of some idiot into that treacherous 6 and 7, where we saw that incident from Heineken and losing a bit of ground on the switchback right there. Might have had a bit of a correction.
Sharkbait is desyncing. That's why he's popping up in as the leader sometimes. There's a massive desync going on there with Sharkbait. We don't know exactly what's going on with him at this point, but yeah, he's looks like it's showing close to correct at this point.
Sharkbait is in 6th place for me right now. He's not desynced for me. He's not doing any weird
And I'm
stuff,
showing him in 12th.
Yeah, he's in 6th.
Right, but I'm showing him in 12th. That's my point. At one point on our side, the stream side, I'm showing him as the leader, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, speaking of leaders, some idiot and ACR Raven are having a fight for the lead still. ACR Raven's got that DRS open, and he's going. He tried to sell a dummy going into the center, but there's no room for him to actually make that move, as the track is showing that pristine sheen in this light misty conditions if overcast.
A little bit of a touch of the wall.
Yeah, Raven got a little bit loose, tapped the wall just a little bit, but just a little love tap. So he's just slowly losing ground to some idiot. Does have DRS, so that will keep him in the fight. Fluffy Dave trying to catch up to this opening pack as he's just sitting 1.7 seconds behind of ACR Raven.
Raven, a little bit of lockup there. He's pushing hard. I don't think that's a great idea here. I mean, you have 30 laps to go. Keep the tires under you. Keep your fuel load, or fuel usage, I should say, down as much as you can. While you're chasing somebody, and use the slipstream. Might as well save the fuel towards the end when you can burn it off and get past the pit stop at least after these tires go away, because they're going to be going away here pretty soon. Here, 6 laps in.
Yeah, 6 laps in. Spider's already got a 3-second time penalty. Must have cut a few corners, probably at the wall of champions, as that's probably where he is right now. Yeah, he did cut the chicane. But look at Raven, just not able to swing his car around that turns 3 and 4, unlike some idiot. Because you know how you said keep the cars in the fuel, but keep fuel in the cars. I don't know how I just turned to Yoda right there, but I'm going to keep on going. The more fuel in the car, the heavier the car is. So somebody is probably burning off all the fuel that he can right now to make his car as light as possible to get it through all these tight, twisty parts. He needs that car to be as light and nimble as possible. And there's probably a bit of conflicting strategies going on here. Raven has more fuel going for the end of the race, as somebody is burning off all the fuel and going for a more sustained tire wear race.
Yeah, you kind of touched on my counterpoint there. Is towards the end of the race, you want to make sure you have all that fuel. You want to get that top speed up as much as you can coming down the Casino Straight if you're trying to make a pass as much. It's the two strategies that you could have. But yes, I can see in the chat some people are asking about the track getting wet, and it certainly looks like it. There's definite mist going on, and these cars have to be skidding around quite a bit. I am surprised that Raven has decided to stick with some idiot at this point without really losing a lot of front end grip. He has that car set up very nicely, but there is a definite dry line. I don't think we're going to be seeing too many passes here in the near future, and I'm actually hoping that it just starts raining. That way it'll be a consistent line across the track, and they'll be able to sort of spread out a little bit, and maybe we'll get some decent racing going.
Yeah, it might turn into a rainy race mid-race right now, but currently it's in that gray zone area where there is water on the track. Not rain, just mist. But when it falls, you'll see these guys just dive into the pits. But Fluffy Dave went into the pits right now. He was started on those Hypersoft tires for the Super Softs, so he is looking for the full-on finish. Now, if these guys knew that there was rain coming, they might have adjusted their strategies with the tires, but looking from these guys' tires, it's just going to be more of a foggy race, and there might be rain at the very end of the race, like we saw in qualifying.
Nobody jumping on the intermediates yet, and that's a good call. Obviously, nowhere near wet enough to be doing that.
Yeah,
and there is a definite dry line. You can really see it. Track starting to rubber in quite nicely, and that will be the dry line. And these guys will definitely want to be sticking to that as much as possible. Got to drive very accurately. Make sure they do not spin out or have any other treacherous circumstances, if you will.
Yeah, if you get a tire on the outside non-dry line, the part that is reflecting like a mirror, your rear wheel tires and your front tires might not agree with your thinking strategy and what you want to drive as we see Ravens just back end just fishtailing just a tad bit. It's coming through the wall of champions.
And some idiot tiptoeing through this first stadium section, if you will, and into the Canadian chicanes, if you will.
Oh, Intergalactic Gentleman got loose out of turn 7. He actually hit the wall. He did make an overtake on Jonathan AI, but he did fall a place after that mistake, and he's about to be lapped by some idiot and Raven coming out through, so hopefully he doesn't get in the way as they're charging through Sector 2 through turns 8 and 9. You're going to see Intergalactic Gentleman pop up. He's on the front straight right now, but going into turn 10, Raven, he closed that gap immensely. Some idiot not getting the best of exits out of turn 10. We might be seeing a drag race down the front straight. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts because here we go for a wild ride. Here goes Raven down the inside.
And he makes it stick. Nice line there by Raven through the wall of champions corners as some idiot will just let him go. I don't think some idiot really has a lot of confidence in the car or the track at this point. I would imagine that he would rather be in the lead. It does kind of seem to be more of his style than anything else, but you know, some idiot might have something in mind as far as following Raven just to save a little bit of fuel for himself. I don't know exactly what's going on in his head. There's a couple things that he could be doing here other than trying to save his tires. 10 laps in, though, it should be time. Oh, is that a collision? No, there was a ghost car.
I don't see any. I didn't see any collisions. There might have been a.
And again, we're having server desync issues. Some idiot locks up the front inside there going into turn 10.
Yeah, some idiot. He's also very smart about his driving. If he sees a risky move and he knows the dangers of Wall of Champions, so he probably just let the whole pass happen so he can sit behind, manage his tires more. Let Raven burn out his tires as he's been pushing this entire race. Raven has. But some idiot probably just let it by, knowing if I go for this, it will cause a horrible incident. As Raven gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings cut the entrance of turn 1. Yellow flags for something. Oh no, that's Lundqvist, bro. The other Williams driver, he's holding off his teammate. He almost closed in on his teammate.
I don't think he realized just how close he was coming in. Looks like there's another driver. That was Intergalactic Gentleman having a bit of a rough time. Oops, let's go that way.
Yeah, Intergalactic Gentleman losing his front right wing. Lundqvist, bro, driving without any sort of wing, so he's just, we're under a virtual safety car.
Yeah, good move. There was wings, bodywork all over the place there through Sector 2. Gotta get guys out there to clear it out, and this is where the safety cars come in.
Yeah, the VSC is out for the second time today. Now, some guys might be able to close the gap just a little bit if the car in front of them is not the best at managing that precious delta. We also might see some of the leaders come into the pits. Yes, Raven locking up his wheels, going into pits. Some idiot heading into pits. Lundqvist heading into pits. Well, he has no wing, so it's kind of a given.
Yeah, we'll see if Triton decides to come into the pits. He does
not
to assume the lead.
Out, and he is inheriting the lead of the race. Now, Raven and some idiot coming out on the Supercell tire. Spider staying out. The Ferrari teammate. Who's coming out first? It is Raven and some idiot as the VSC has been lifted and we're back in racing.
Great timing.
Yes, great timing for both of them. Triton holding out the lead. Some idiot and Raven now chasing down each other and the other leaders, but Fluffy Dake is a 3-second time penalty. Also, I think I saw Raven tap the outside wall of turn 4.
You did, yeah. We were on board actually with him, not necessarily on board, but one of the broadcast cameras actually showed him kind of tap the wall there, a little bit jarring, and he is pushing really hard right now. He's really working the limits of the track as he nearly clipped the outside little retainer wall there. Oh man, this could turn out to be quite the show if anyone decides to get a little bit too close. It could get very interesting very quick.
Yeah, this could become a very interesting show as Raven and Spider having a little bit of teammate drag strip down the casino straight. Yeah, Spider was providing a little bit of a tow, but Raven didn't have the best exits as somebody is closing head and tail on his rival right now. He just gained a lot of time through the Wall of Champions turn. So I don't know if Raven had a lot of grip to there as he gets so close to that wall again.
Yeah.
But these tires are also cold. They were being warmed up. Oh, some idiot goes into the wall. This little love tap though, so he's continuing on, but he's gonna, hopefully that doesn't shake him up a bit mentally as they go through the Canadian chicanes.
We should also mention the leader of the race. It's Triton. Has not pitted yet. He should be diving into the pits here very soon. I just saw it right now. Oops, that is the wrong button. I need this one. No stops, and he's on the Ultrasoft, 12-lap-old Ultrasofts.
Oh, he's going for another lap.
Penalty.
I guess 3-second time penalty. 13 laps on the Ultrasoft tires. How far can try and hold these tires together? And does he know something about the weather? Is he looking for weather to switch on the intermediates to go for a one-stop?
Might be. You know, that's a great question. We'd have to ask him if we get the chance to interview him a little bit later. But it's an interesting strategy call. You know, just try to hold on as long as you can to see if it starts to rain. The hard part with that, though, is, I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to rain here in the next few laps. So go ahead and change them out. We're starting to see a little bit of sky in some of the shots here as we're, again, on board with somebody.
Now let's go on board Fluffy Davis. He's making a move on Z3. Mikey down the inside. Going into turn 8, but he crosses across. He jumps across the track, closing the door on any chance for Mikey to fight back. That might go into the rear, but look at Mikey diving down the inside. A little bit of a lockup. thankfully they saved all contact for another day. Preferably never, but Triton has gone into the pits right now. Feller just informed me that the pit windows for Ultras is right now.
Yep, just saw that too.
Yeah, so... Ooh!
Speaking of
Fluffy
which...
Dave. No, that's not... Mikey diving into the pits, also on those 13-lap old tires. Yeah, I guess with the whole VSC, the leaders took their time with the pits, said, hey, opportunity calls, I'm going to the pits right now. So they might have a little bit of an uphill battle with the super soft tires wearing out a few laps earlier than the other guys. So have an eye on Triton, who is on fresher tires than Raven and some idiot.
Triton having a fantastic race so far, I have to admit. Found himself in the lead. Oh, as I say that, he finds himself in the grass. But yeah, possibly his best performance this race, pretty much this whole season, I think. I don't have the standings up, unfortunately, and because I'm streaming, I can't exactly switch to it either. So, unfortunately, we'll have to double check that.
Oh, look at Heineken, opens up DRS on that second. DRS dives down the inside, looks for a move on AOR Manku. The reserve Toro Rosso driver, new for this race. The original Toro Rosso driver is not here today, so they got Manku in here. But look at Heineken, prepping up for a move down the casino straight. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts because here we go. This might be a move for P8 from Heineken. He's sitting in that draft, getting closer, looking for a move, but he decides he's a bit too far back for an attempt at it, and he's going to try for closing in that gap once again. Manku might be running a top speed setup because just look how far ahead of Heineken he is, but he's just losing time through those corners.
Yeah, he really is, and I think it's time for Heineken to just relax for a little while and try to catch him through the corners as those tires burn off there for Manku. Especially with that low downforce setup. I mean, Manku was flying. He was gaining space on Heineken. So, yeah, Heineken would be wise to just relax for a little bit, a few laps maybe, and then make his move a little bit later on.
Well, also, Heineken has 12-lap old super soft tires, so...
he's going to have to come in the pits anyways.
Yeah, another reason to relax. Now, the 13 laps were for the ultra softs. The super softs can go a bit more, and ACR Raven gets another time penalty. That's 6 seconds time penalty for ACR Raven.
Now, some idiot obviously knows this, and we have some experienced racers in the chat, so but I'm kind of pointing it out for people who may not have seen this before or need a reminder. The reason I would think, at least, that some idiot would be backing off is because of those time penalties. Raven is pushing the envelope for sure, and he's now got 6 seconds against him. So some idiot would definitely be in the lead at this point. And some idiot is as much kind of BS as we give him. He is actually a fairly smart racer, so you would not want to push his car too much going into this, as E3 Mikey gets a penalty himself, actually.
Yeah, some idiot definitely knows that Raven has a time penalty. He doesn't know how much, though, so he's going to try to stay within 3 seconds, because he does know that he has 2 or 3. And he doesn't use the strategy of listening to us while racing.
That right there is a good move, God.
I do know a few of our American racers do listen to the commentary for a little bit of tips. Mud.
Well, Mud, yeah, Mud does. That's true.
Yeah, I know Mud does. To know if they have anything coming up, like tire wear, walls, any issues in the race, who's on what, who's got who, if there's any penalties. Because that's why some of them do it, and also personal preference. I don't know why. Don't ask me.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Back in my racing days, we did not. There was just no way. There wasn't enough room in there between all the comms going on. Obviously, for those who don't know, I used to be an endurance racer, team racing. So we had comms going on. We were trying to keep each other awake. We did not want to have a stream going in the backs of our minds while we're trying to concentrate on keeping a car on the road, especially when we have a race like this. What is going on in front of us?
Yeah, look at Mikey and it involves shark bait, so I know that shark bait's not there for you.
That's what I just noticed.
Yeah, okay, but So I'm just gonna scoop over the battle for 6 right now between Sharkbait and Mikey, since that Alfa Romeo is not on your screen. But Mikey trying for a dive bomb on that car that I just said that I'm not going to talk about right now. But they're having a ding-dong battle down the front straight. It's a drag race. Mikey diving down to the inside. They're side by side. Mikey gets to 6th place. And going to the wall of champions, it's going to be Mikey taking it. But Sharkbait dives down the inside and gets a 3-second time penalty. I hope you're enjoying this radio commentary on this imaginary fight that's going on, because Sharkbait's up there.
We have a great view of Mikey for sure. But yeah, no, it did look like he was trying to pass someone. I'm sitting here looking at him like, what is he doing? And then as you're commentating on it, yeah, I can see what you mean. As Mikey looks like he is stabilized by now, I assume Sharkbait is a little ways back now.
Yeah, Sharkbait is in 7th, just half a second behind Mikey, just trailing him just a bit. It's probably a weird feeling seeing a car not actually there, but somebody who knows what's going on.
I mean, we see Manku in 7th right now.
Manku's in 8th.
Right, well, that's what I'm telling you. Sharkbait is in 9th for us here on the stream, so thank you for that. We'll have to see which of the running order is correct towards the end of the race. Unfortunately, we have another 15 laps to go, and as we have a look at the intervals here, you can see that some idiot has kind of backed off a little bit. I have to assume that he's just mostly trying to save the car and get to the end of the race while managing the gap at the same time. And Raven, of course, wants to manage the gap so that some idiot can't get his DRS at the same time. So yeah, the conflicting strategies for those actually work in each other's favor in a way.
And remember, ACR Raven has 6 seconds of time penalties. There's a slow car. Is that Lundqvist, bro? It is. Lundqvist, bro, once again going slow. Somebody locking up those brakes as he's just chasing out his teammate. But his teammate is going to give him a tow, but somebody not really using it. As Lundqvist is just weaving across the track. Somebody gaining DRS from it, though. So that's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
No, he's not. But Lundqvist just trying to stay out of the way more than anything else. He is not having a great race today. A very enthusiastic racer, I might add. Does race in a couple of the AOR leagues here. Has kind of made his break into the rally league that we have at AOR. If you're interested in that, please check out ApexOnlineRacing.com for more information on that and other leagues here. Plenty of F1 action, of course. It's kind of our staple, if you will, as well as other leagues and, might I add, Rocket League. Because
yes, Rocket League is certainly a fun game for and league. It's in the title that we have on AOR. I don't know much about the game. I suck at it myself. But you know a lot about it. You know a lot about it.
That's kind of where I come from, commentary side. But back to the race.
Yes, back to the thing we're here for.
Honestly, right now, everybody has kind of spread out. I have to admit, I wasn't expecting this much. I was kind of expecting there to be much more racing involved. But, I mean, we're 21 laps in already, and not really a whole ton of racing. Not a procession by any means, but everybody kind of giving each other a lot of space today. And I think that kind of comes down to the fact that the track is kind of wet, a little slick. As you can see, Raven get a little sideways coming out of turn 2, had to lift off there.
Yeah, Raven. Oh, Fluffy Dave's gone into the pits. What's he done that?
Well, he had 14-lap-old super softs. He must have had an issue.
Well, he started on the hyper softs. This is.
Went to supers, going to ultras now.
That is very peculiar. So, he might have had an issue. I don't know, because they didn't change the front wing in the pit stop. Well, going for the fastest lap award is Fluffy Dave in the Toro Rosso in 5th place. So we'll see how he is handling it up.
Let's jump down there and have a look at him.
Now let's go on board Fluffy Dave right now. He's flying through the 2nd sector. Just got out of the 1st section of the Canada chicanes. Going through turns 8 and 9. Heading up to turn 10. It feels like we're still qualifying because it's got the same overcasting feel, but the track is not. I wouldn't say the track was actually wet.
No, but I mean, I'm seeing some sheen towards like the first sector or so, and coming into that. So I'm kind of wondering if drivers are just sort of tiptoeing a little bit. Maybe they're feeling something that they weren't necessarily expecting coming into the race. And so why not back off a little bit and work the strategy, or just finish the race at this point, especially for someone like Intergalactic Gentleman who's not had a great race, Lundqvist Bro who's had honestly a terrible race. Much as I love you, man, it hasn't gone well for a few people, and it might just be a good idea just to finish the race out and get the experience more than anything else. I mean, honestly, this track is so fun to drive that for most of these guys, they're not really going to care where they finish.
Yeah, Canada is one of my favorite tracks to drive in F1 2018, and in other games. I've caught myself driving this track just in practice mode for around 2 hours.
Oh yeah, easy. Could easily be done, especially for us, simple-minded Americans who don't necessarily like the more complicated tracks. Name one.
Spa.
Spa, yeah, that comes to mind, sure. Silverstone.
Nürburgring,
sure, yeah.
Not in this game, though.
Not in this game, no. Unfortunately. Ooh. That's a badass track.
It is certainly a great track. I can't wait to see later in the season that all these guys are racing on, because remember, it's still round 7 early in the season as Frankie and Sharkbait are coming out of the pits. Ooh, Frankie almost comes in with Fluffy Dave. Frankie, are you? Oh, Lundqvist Bro also sideways. And turn 3.
Looks like Frankie has figured himself out a little bit. Had a bit of a off-road excursion. I'm sorry, man, but the Baja 500 or the Baja 1000 is actually finished. So
yes, it is.
You can go on the road now.
And that's my specialty,
yes,
not yours. You're an on-road driver. I'm an off-road driver.
Hey,
How'd I
wait a
get?
minute. Rallycross, hello.
Oh yeah, Rallycross is a thing. I was talking to Frankie though.
Well, yes. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Frankie does tap the outside wall just a little bit, but his car does stay in good working order. No bits and pieces fell off of it.
Yeah,
Fluffy Dave is closing in on the Ferrari of Spider for P4. Now, Spider does have a 3-second time penalty. I don't think Fluffy Dave has any, but Spider back end losing him just a little bit, and Fluffy Dave using that fresh ultra soft grip is gaining arm and a leg through the Canadian chicanes. Will we be seeing a move into turn 6, or will Fluffy Dave think smart about it? Yes, he is. Spider defending on the inside. He's just sliding around. Fluffy Dave opens up DRS, closing in, front window gearbox, around the outside. Fluffy Dave diving.
Oh, we cut the track. We both did.
Ooh. Both of them did cut the track, but Fluffy Dave does hold out and take P4. And next up, 10 seconds up the road, is Triton.
Okay, so there's a bit of an unspoken rule in the simulation racing world, if you will. You cut the track like that, you give that position back. I'm sorry, Dave. That one, no, that wouldn't fly. If this was any other league or any other game that, let's say, isn't self-regulated, say an R Factor 2 or even Project Cars, you would be giving that position back, man. That was a terrible pass.
Certainly not the cleanest out there, but there might be a little bit of talk with the stewards if Spider has anything to say about it.
Oh yeah, he better. I would. That said, Spider also did cut the track as well. He did jump the curb a little bit, so there may be a little bit of a repercussion there. But honestly, that was a huge cut, and you can see Spider has decided to just back off. Did I see a pass for the lead?
No. You saw Shark 898's car lag.
Okay, thank you.
From the lead. And he's not doing it for me, so I'm guessing that's what's happening for you. Somebody is sitting 2.3 seconds behind Raven, but he is slowly gaining on Raven, or just sitting back there, letting Raven drive, but Raven's got that 6-second penalty. He needs more space to some idiot who's just sitting in that 2 seconds. So even if he just had one penalty, some idiot would still be in the net lead as the laps are closing down. This race is kind of just got into a pace race, as some might say, as everyone's just keeping their cars nice and clean, trying to make it to the end of the race. A lot less chaotic than I thought.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have to agree with you there. Honestly, I was expecting a ton more racing going on, but really everybody kind of spaced out on this one. And we did mention a little bit that this is a driver's track. You know, much as car setup is very important, all those things. If you are not comfortable on a little bit of a narrow track, on a track whose walls close in and then open out a little more, and if you're not confident in your car, you're going to be backing off a little bit. I mean, we're seeing Intergalactic Gentleman, who's usually much higher up in the order, having issues. We're seeing, Zwam, who's usually fighting for a top 5. He's down 9th now. Yeah, this isn't really one of those normal races that we have kind of expected here this season of AOR America. That said, look at Samidian and Raven. I mean, they're both putting in excellent runs. They're very consistent, even though Raven has kind of been tapping the wall. He's been pushing his luck a little bit. But that's where people who haven't quite shined lately, Fluffy Dave, Spider, those kind of guys come through and are able to shine this time out and really kind of showcase their skills in how high they are on the order. I mean, look at Fluffy Dave. He's sitting 4th.
Yeah, Fluffy Dave sitting 4th. The track just got way more misty than it just was.
Whoa. What? That? Oh, no, that was shark bait all messed up on my end. Never mind.
Shark bait. Hoo-ah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have a little counter next to me to see how many shots I have to take whenever you have a shark bait incident.
No, it's been, honestly, I'll be honest with you, it's been the whole race.
Oh.
Ever since lap 0. I don't know where he is.
He's in 8th. Right behind AOR Mancu. Well, 50 seconds behind AOR Mancu, who is closing in on Z3 Mikey going into the Wall of Champions, but Mancu has 13-lap-old Superstar tires as well as Mikey, so I don't even know why I said that tire stat. I thought Mikey was on newer tires, but they're on the same lap tires. Mancu running that low downforce setup. Remember, he is closing in on the straights, but through the corners is not his specialty. As if you're on board with Mikey, on board with Mancu, Mikey's just sliding away, just very slowly throughout the corners. But Mancu's just understeering into all these corners. But once you go onto the front straight, like a casino straight, he's just a rocket. Just a rocket on wheels as he does close in through 8 and 9, but once again, Mikey pulling away. This is going to be the entire story of this battle, but Mancu is getting close enough for a DRS pass. So ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts. Heineken just made it past for 8th, but we're on the battle for 6th place. It's Mancu versus Mikey. Renault versus Honda Power.
And the Toro Rosso got a little bit sideways coming out of turn 10. He's not going to be able to attack this time. But we'll stay on board with this one, though, as Mancu showing exorbitant speed here is able to start to catch up there on Mikey. And as the straightaways begin to wind down, Mikey should be able to either pull away or stay even. Now, I think Mikey's feeling pretty confident in his 6th place at the moment. At the moment, mind you. But if Mancu is able to catch up to him, there will be a pass. And then at that point, Mikey might have to crank up the engine to try to catch Mancu, or at least stay with him on the straights. It depends on if he's able to stay in the slipstream or not. I don't know if he'd be able to do that. We'll have to see if the pass happens, if he's able to do that, as Mancu is actually pushing the track limits at this point.
Yes, Mancu might start looking a bit cheekily on cutting a few corners to try to get an advantage, but that's why we have time penalties. If he does see the red mist, it says, okay, this is it. Ooh. There are 4 laps remaining, as Raven and some idiot are still just having their little hey, I'm here. I'm still behind you. You want to keep pushing? Fine, because I honestly think somebody is just sitting back there just be like, yes, I'm sitting in that time frame, but I'm sitting in this constant time frame just egging you on, saying, hey, I still have the lead in the championship, and also, you got a time penalty, and I'm probably going to get another win. And he's probably just providing that pressure to Raven, making him want to sweat down his pants and probably push it again. But once again, Manku getting extremely close through Mikey, coming into turn 6 and 7. Does some idiot have any time penalty?
That's a negative. We have not seen any time penalty come up there for some idiot, and that's fairly normal. It's very rare to see a time penalty for some idiot. So, yeah, not out of the ordinary there. It is a little out of the ordinary to have Raven have so many time penalties. We've seen him get a couple here and there, but not really, 2 in one race or even 3. I believe he's at 2 at this point. No, I think Raven
is at 2, but he did just get another warning.
Ooh.
Yeah, lap 31, Raven, a warning for exceeding track limits. And that's this lap right now. Manku getting extremely close down that front straight. Lundqvist went into the pits. So, 2 laps remaining. He might put on a pair of Hypersoft tires and said, I'm going to go fast lap hunting. Sharkbait's also on the Hypersoft tires as well. Information that won't be beneficial to anyone watching the stream, but that's what's actually happening.
Manku's got a handful here of Mikey, though. But the time is winding down. Manku will need to strike soon. Really, this is where I was talking about the fuel run. Got to make sure you have enough fuel to make a pass like this, and Toro Rosso could make a few points up here as Sharkbait grabs a fast time, a 1:10.4. He is flying.
He is certainly flying, but with the laps coming down, something does open up, and that is the voting for the driver of the day. Click that link in chat to vote for your driver of the day. Would it be Raven, who's moved up from 2nd place, but he does have penalties? Would it be some idiot who is in the net lead right now? Is it Triton in 3rd? He did move up 2 places. Is it Fluffy Dave? Spider? Mikey, who's moved up 4 places before when he qualified? Manku, who's providing us with this wonderful fight right now. Oh my, he's touched! They touched right now. I was getting a bit too caught up to even notice on how close he got there, but wow.
Oh, he locked up the front.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to catch him now. I'm calling it.
You're calling it?
I'm calling that race. Unfortunately, then for Manku, he had a run there. He just got in the back of Mikey, and then he pushed it too hard going into turn 3. Critical point there, turn 3. You have to nail that line. You cannot brake late. You definitely don't want to brake early. And Manku just got on the binders a little too late. He had to lock up a touch to make sure he could make that corner. And unfortunately for him, he will have to settle for 8th place, barring a massive incident or problem for any other competitor.
Yeah, we certainly do not want to wish anything bad to happen to any of our competitors, but Manku, he just might have, but he's outside DRS range right now, so that's not helping his straight line speed, which is what his car is all built around right now, as he is absolutely flying down the front straight. So, the wall of championship gains, turns 13 to 14. He has practiced that so much. As we got, oh, how did he catch up there? How did he close into that?
I have to admit, I was trying to get driver of the day set up, but unfortunately for us, as commentators, we didn't quite see it, but I did stay on the race. So, Manku has now kind of caught up, but we are on the final lap. It could be a drag race. We'll actually need to tear away from this.
Yeah, we will not have ACR rated just crossed in through turns 1 and 2, but Manku locked up again going to turn 8, and he's fallen down the order as Mikey is just thinking to himself, this guy, he's just got to keep this guy behind him in any way And he can't make him. He's got to try to get in front of him any way he can, but he doesn't have DRS down the casino straight. He desperately needs that on this last lap, as leaders are on the opposite side of the track. But Raven coming through the final turn right now. DRS is powerful, but coming down the front casino straight, Raven 6 seconds of time penalties, leading by 2 seconds, coming through the wall of champions. Raven makes it through cleanly. Some idiot makes it through cleanly, and Raven comes across the line. But the winner of the AOR North American League is Some Idiot.
Well done. Strategy call there for Some Idiot, as Manku's actually made the pass.
Ooh.
Mikey's in the wall.
Oh, Mikey
Oh,
is
someone
in the
came
wall.
through.
Heineken almost came into contact with... How did Manku end up in the wall?
No, that was Mikey. Mikey was in the wall.
How did Mikey end up in the wall?
It looks like he spun going through one of the Canadian chicanes. Unfortunately, I didn't quite see which turn that was. But
that is turn 7.
Manku has turned in a 6th place. We will have to check that out a little bit later. My spidey senses are tingling a little bit with this one. I sense a story.
There might be a story to this. Might need an interview with it. But here are your unofficial results right now. Some Idiot comes across for the win, followed by Some... Oh my goodness. I'm just looking at his AI cars just in the wall. Lundqvist Bros cars in the wall. Everyone's cars are in the wall, and that was a beautiful thing to see. But it's Some Idiot lifting a fist up in the air for victory, as he once again stands on top of the podium for another win. They spray the champagne.
Some Idiot putting in the work, working the time penalties to his advantage, kept it within 3 seconds just to be sure he may not have seen the second one. That said, kept it off the wall, kept it clean, and does exactly what he does every race, and make sure he takes home the win here as, yep, there it is, plus 6 seconds for Raven. Raven could not open up the gap when he had the lead. So Some Idiot, ACR Raven, it's Triton bringing up 3rd, Fluffy Dave, Spider, Manku bringing in the provisional 6th place, Heineken, Mikey, Sharkbait, Z-Womp round out the top 10, Jonathan AI, Frankie, Intergalactic Gentleman, Lundqvist Bro, and J-Boy did not finish at all. Lundqvist Bro, Intergalactic Gentleman will be looking to improve next race out.
Yes, also an interesting fact, Some Idiot did not get any penalty. He was the only driver not to get a penalty. Well, besides J-Boy, who crashed. But I guess that's the ultimate penalty, I guess.
Unfortunately, yes. That's kind of the way it goes. As
yeah.
I am waiting for results for driver of the day,
which should be coming in right about now. No?
Well, I have to actually put it into OBS. Hang on a second.
Ah, so you do have it. I want to thank you, everybody, before we start getting interviews and introducing the driver of the day for today. But thank you, everyone, for your continued support and tuning in to AOR North American League. This is the first time we've ever ran this league, and it's become pretty much a staple of the AOR channel, especially for the European guys. If they're can't fall asleep, they like to watch this race and, you know, just have a good time
and stay awake with all this American hype.
Yes.
All right, we do have the results, and it was a 100% vote for some guy called Some Idiot.
Well, hopefully that idiot is pleased with his driver of the day. Congratulations to somebody on the win and vote for driver of the day, as we should probably hop into the Discord and see if we got anyone ready for interviews.
We will hop on down. We will be right back. Stay tuned. We'll have driver interviews here in just a moment.
Is another win and another trophy to your cabinet. I guess that shelf you have might need another shelf because you're just racking up all these wins. How was that race for you?
I'm glad my wheel didn't decide to F off in the middle of it. That's the truth. That's really the victory of it. It's like, hey, I finished. I didn't have my wheel just decide to turn right into a left-hander. But no, before the season started, I wouldn't have thought that I'd be needing any sort of shelf for trophies. But now that you mention it, it's cool to think about. I never thought I'd be in this spot. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you are once again. Well, you still are leading the championship. You actually extend your lead. What was your strategy and just thinking that once you found out that ACR Raven had a penalty, did you just let him pass and just sat behind him?
Raven was having screen tearing issues. I was just messaging with him, and
Oh.
I was telling him, yeah, it's like, I see you're lagging, so my best bet, I don't care how many penalties you have. You could have none. I just want to make sure neither of us have like a lag collision. I don't know if it's on his end. I didn't know if it was on my end, if we were both lagging, something like that. So I figured the best bet was just me fall back about a second and a half and make sure nothing stupid happened that wouldn't screw us both over or the like. So it's such a shame for Raven too, because he got like 4 or 5 of his warnings just from the freaking screen tearing he was having. It's ridiculous. It's like I could see him visibly jump back on the screen, and that's ridiculous. That shouldn't be happening. But yeah, so my just best thought was to stay about 2 seconds back, drive within myself, just do what I could. I also couldn't see if I was getting warnings or not because I had the VSC as ending banner for the entire race. So it's like I can't tell if I'm getting a warning or not. And a race I did yesterday, I had that exact same thing on a final safety car restart, and I picked up 4 warnings, and I only realized I got a penalty after the game told me at lap 32. But here, I took those lessons from it and made it apply. I only picked up 1 warning, and that was on lap 1.
Not bad.
Thankfully,
Did look,
one warning is all you need.
Did look like it was pretty clean, I'll be honest with you, all around it. And we thought it was a bold strategy move that you were just kind of hanging back there, but actually that does kind of sucks, I'll be honest with you. I was expecting a little bit more racing, but I didn't realize that it seems like a lot of people were having some issues with screen tearing or other issues that were preventing the good racing that we've kind of come to expect from America.
Is it alright if I interject real quick?
Yeah.
Of course.
On the formation lap, I actually had the Formula E glitch where you can't hear your engine noise, or it sounds like it's like a little battery going on.
Ooh.
So I had to tap out of the game, and the game like put me back in like the midfield.
Yeah.
So it's like when I paused, it's like I could see a Force India in front of me, and I'm like, what the hell?
So that explains why that's why your car is just like suddenly in the midfield. We thought we were witnessing you having a desync on us. We're just like, well, this is gonna be very odd.
I have one more to add. I have one more thing I can add. So when I tab back in, I had like 5 FPS. My game was just screen tearing like crazy. So I had to like go, oh crap, and then I turned off my recording and returned on my recording. It was just fine after that. I don't know about this game. Sometimes it's just wacko. So,
Kata,
I mean,
this weekend has provided some definite whack moments. Hopefully everything is better in France.
No track limits. France is best, friends.
They fixed that, by the way. They fixed that. No high-speed oval.
What do you mean? We can remove track limits and nobody will know.
Intergalactic
Guys,
gentlemen,
capiche?
if you're listening.
Audience, capiche? Don't know. If you don't say anything, we won't say anything. Let's have an actual race with the true limits of the track where you can take any line you want.
Well, if we're going back to what we were doing before F1 season starts, I will gladly hop out of the commentary box and join you in that race.
Yeah, join us. Both of you guys join us. It'll be much more fun. You get to be it's like in race comment.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking as well. Well,
yeah, come and join us.
I think we're gonna go ahead and let you go for now. Everyone, thank you for joining us this evening. Or early morning, depending where you're at. I saw a bunch of Europeans in the chat. Happy to have you guys along for the ride. The Canadian GP is now in the books. Austin, do you have any final thoughts?
I'm just excited for France and maybe that one-off race we might have.
Ooh, one-off race, yes.
Yeah, open invitation, boys.
Stay tuned next week to watch the French Grand Prix here at AOR. We're going to finish out the weekend here. This is Curtis Kenyon, otherwise known as NinjaRider. You can find me at NinjaRider RL. That's Austin Knight. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at OfficialAKnight or on Twitch at RightHere.
So,
and that's some idiot. Ignore him.
Ignore him.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. I have it in my name. You better ignore me. Everything I say is just complete gibberish.
Congrats to ACR Raven for the win. That ghost card did not take the win.
Oh, of course.
That said, we're going to head in out the evening. We will see you next week for more Apex Online Racing.